Have you ever sat down at the end of a long day, your feet up, maybe your favorite old movie playing in the background, and thought, a little drink won't hurt? Maybe it's a small glass of wine, a cold beer, or a splash of whiskey to help you relax before bed. Something you've done for years without thinking twice. But lately, it feels different, doesn't it? The sleep isn't as deep. You wake up groggy, maybe a little dizzy. Your balance feels off. Your memory isn't as sharp the next morning. You tell yourself it's just part of getting older, but what if it's not? What if that innocent nightcap is quietly doing more harm than good? And here's the part that nobody really talks about: your body doesn't process alcohol the way it used to. The drink that once relaxed you might now be raising your blood pressure, interacting with your medication, or even making your bones more fragile. Not immediately. Not in a way that screams danger. But silently, slowly, day by day. And let's be honest, no one wants to give up the small joys in life. You're not here to be lectured. You're here because you want to live well, not just longer, but better. And sometimes, that means knowing when a familiar comfort might be turning into an invisible threat. That's why this video matters. Because today, we're not just talking about alcohol. We're talking about you. Your health, your independence, and those little habits that either help or hurt more than you realize. I'm going to walk you through 4 types of alcohol that seniors should never drink, and, don't worry, we'll also look at 4 much better alternatives that still let you enjoy life without the aftershocks. One of these will definitely surprise you, and might make you rethink what's in your fridge or cabinet right now. So, stick with me. And if you believe in aging with wisdom, grace, and a little bit of smart self-care, comment below with "still enjoying wisely." That way, I'll know I'm not alone in this conversation. And hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want more trusted tips from Elderly Wisdom Guide, where it's not just about getting older, it's about doing it with strength, clarity, and joy. Let's dive in. Let's start with one that might seem innocent, maybe even festive. Picture this. It's a sunny afternoon, your grandkids are running around the backyard, there's laughter in the air, maybe some music playing softly in the background. Someone hands you a colorful drink, maybe a margarita, a piña colada, or even a fruity daiquiri. You take a sip. It's sweet, smooth, and goes down easy. You feel refreshed, for a little while. But then evening rolls around. You're suddenly more tired than usual. Your legs feel heavy. You're not quite steady on your feet. Maybe your heart feels like it's beating a little too fast. When you finally lie down for bed, you're restless. Your mind is foggy. Sleep just won't come easy, and when it does, it's shallow. You wake up feeling like you never really rested. Here's what's happening: those sugary cocktails are loaded with more than just flavor. They're packed with sugar, sometimes more than an entire can of soda in just one glass. And for older adults, especially those managing blood sugar, that's a recipe for trouble. As we age, our bodies process sugar differently. Even if you've never had diabetes, your insulin sensitivity changes. Your metabolism slows. Your cells aren't as quick to absorb and use sugar the way they used to. That means one sugary drink can cause a spike in your blood glucose, followed by a sudden crash that leaves you feeling weak, jittery, or even confused. And let's not forget, many seniors are living with prediabetes or diabetes and may not even know it. These hidden sugars can throw your entire system out of balance. It's not just about weight or calories. It's about how these drinks silently interfere with your blood pressure, your medication, and even your sleep quality. Now, here's the part that trips most people up. You might think, it's just one drink. How bad can it be? But the truth is, even one sweet cocktail can send your body on a roller coaster of highs and lows. You may not feel it right away, but your body does. Over time, that one drink becomes a repeated habit. And that habit chips away at your energy, your alertness, even your mood. But here's the good news, you don't have to give up the pleasure of sipping something refreshing. Try this instead, a sugar-free spritzer made with sparkling water and a splash of real fruit juice. Add in a slice of lime, a sprig of mint, maybe a few berries, and suddenly, you have a light, flavorful drink that feels just as festive, without the sugar crash that follows. It looks good in the glass, it feels satisfying, and most importantly, it supports your health instead of stealing from it. You're not giving something up, you're trading it for something smarter. That's the beauty of making better choices as we grow older. We've earned the right to be wiser with our bodies. To listen to what they need. And sometimes, it's not about saying no, it's about saying yes to something better. But sugar isn't the only hidden danger in your favorite drinks. There's another type of alcohol that many believe is actually good for the heart, but when it comes to older adults, that belief might be doing more harm than good. Now let's talk about red wine. Maybe you've heard this one before, a glass of red wine a night is good for the heart. It's something your neighbor might say. Or maybe it's become a quiet ritual for you, supper's done, dishes are clean, and you pour yourself a glass. At first, it's just one. But over time, one turns into two, and before you know it, it takes three to feel the same ease, the same comfort. And here's the catch, it sneaks up slowly. You don't realize how your body is reacting until something feels off. A little more forgetfulness. A little more fatigue. You stand up quickly and feel lightheaded. Maybe your balance feels just a bit unsure, or you find yourself needing that handrail more than you used to. So, let's clear the air. Yes, red wine does contain something called resveratrol, an antioxidant found in grape skins that's been linked to heart health. And yes, in small amounts, it may have some protective benefits. But here's where it gets tricky. More does not mean better. As we age, our liver works slower. Our kidneys process alcohol differently. The enzymes that once helped your body break down that glass of wine, they don't work as efficiently in your 60, 70, or 80 as they did decades ago. That means alcohol stays in your system longer, and affects you more deeply. Now add medications to the mix, blood thinners, heart medications, antidepressants, pain relievers. Alcohol can interfere with all of them. Even one extra glass can make your blood pressure spike, throw your balance off, or cause confusion that feels like brain fog. Or worse, mimic early signs of dementia. And here's a hard truth, moderation at 30 is not the same as moderation at 70. What your body could tolerate years ago simply doesn't apply anymore. But that's a message we're not told enough. Instead, we hold on to old habits, thinking, it's always worked for me. Until one night, it doesn't. Now, I'm not here to tell you to never enjoy red wine again. Life's too short for absolutes. But I am here to help you make safer, wiser choices. So, here's a better path forward. If you do enjoy red wine, try to limit it to no more than 3 to 4 small glasses a week. Not large pours, small, modest ones. And if you're open to it, non-alcoholic red wines have come a long way. Some even contain resveratrol, without the alcohol content. The taste is surprisingly satisfying, and the benefits, like better sleep and sharper thinking, are noticeable. This isn't about giving things up. It's about protecting the very things you've worked a lifetime to preserve, your health, your independence, your clarity of mind. And just when you think you're playing it safe with your drink choices, there's another one that often gets labeled as light or easygoing. But for seniors, this next one can be deceptively harsh on the body, even when it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Let's move on to a familiar comfort for many, beer. Picture this, it's a slow Saturday afternoon. Your old buddy stops by, just like he always does, with a 6-pack of light beer in hand. You sit on the porch, crack open a couple of cold ones, and enjoy a few laughs. It feels good, easy, routine, even nostalgic. But later that evening, something doesn't sit right. Your knees feel stiff. Your hands ache a little more than usual. You notice your belly feels bloated and uncomfortable, and when you try to sleep, you keep waking up. Too warm, too restless, or with that familiar nighttime trip to the bathroom. Again and again. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Even so-called light beers aren't as light as you might think, especially for aging bodies. Many are filled with empty carbohydrates and added fillers that do a number on your digestion, your joints, and your blood sugar. The carbonation adds gas, the barley can trigger inflammation, and the alcohol, even in lower percentages, still takes a toll on your liver and brain. Now let's talk inflammation for a moment. Beer can worsen joint pain and arthritis symptoms, especially if consumed regularly. It may seem like a minor ache at first, but over time, those aches become harder to ignore. And for those living with arthritis or managing weight, the extra carbs in beer contribute to belly fat, often called the beer belly, which isn't just about looks. It's directly linked to increased pressure on the spine, knees, and hips, not to mention a higher risk of heart disease and diabetes. And here's a common misunderstanding: beer's not that strong, it's lighter than whiskey or vodka, right? That may be true per ounce, but think about how much of it we drink. A few light beers can quietly add up to the same, or even more, alcohol than a single mixed drink. And because it goes down so easily, you're more likely to drink more of it without realizing the impact. But here's the thing, you don't have to give up the comfort of sipping on a beer. There are now low-carb, non-alcoholic craft beers that taste remarkably close to the real thing. Brewed with care, some even include ingredients that help reduce bloating and are easier on your system. You get the social feel, the cold refreshment, and the enjoyment, without the extra strain on your body. It's about being thoughtful, not restrictive. About making room for pleasure and protection. Your body has carried you through decades, it deserves a little kindness in return. And now, we've come to one final drink. It might seem harmless, just a tiny glass, a quick sip, something small before bed or during a celebration. But don't let its size fool you. This one can be the most dangerous of all. Let's talk about the heavy hitters, hard liquor and spirits. Maybe you've seen it in your own family. That one relative, maybe your uncle or your father, who swears by a shot of whiskey every night before bed. He calls it his medicine, jokes that it keeps the doctor away. And for years, it seemed harmless. But recently, something's shifted. You notice he's forgetting simple things. His words are a little slower. He stands up from his chair and wobbles for just a moment too long. He's not quite himself, and it's subtle, but it's there. It's easy to brush it off. After all, it's just a tiny glass. But with age, even small sips of hard liquor pack a much bigger punch. Let's break it down. Hard liquor, whether it's whiskey, vodka, rum, or brandy, is highly concentrated alcohol. A single shot may look small, but it can contain 40% alcohol or more. That means your brain feels it faster, your liver works harder, and your heart beats just a little differently after every sip. As we grow older, the way our bodies handle alcohol changes. Your liver doesn't filter as efficiently. Your kidneys don't process fluids the same way. And your brain becomes more sensitive, making you more prone to confusion, dizziness, and memory lapses. That's especially dangerous when paired with common medications like blood pressure pills, antidepressants, or blood thinners. The result? What used to be a relaxing ritual can now raise your risk of a fall, increase mental fog, or quietly strain your heart. Now here's where many get stuck: I've always had whiskey. It's never been a problem. And that may be true, until it suddenly is. The problem isn't who you were, it's what your body has become. And that's not weakness. That's aging. It's natural. but pretending we're still 40 when our body is telling us otherwise? That's where the danger lies. But don't worry, you don't have to give up the comfort of a cozy nightcap. That soothing end-of-day feeling is still within reach. Try this, a warm cup of herbal tea, chamomile, rooibos, or lavender, with a splash of alcohol-free bitters. It mimics the flavor complexity of spirits, without the alcohol. It calms the nerves, warms the belly, and gives you the same sense of ritual and relaxation, without the risks. You see, it's not about losing your favorite habits, it's about evolving them. Aging gracefully means adapting with wisdom, not holding on to things that no longer serve you. And now that we've covered the drinks that should be left behind, let's turn the page. Because there are better options out there. Joyful, flavorful, satisfying alternatives that protect your health and keep life full of little pleasures. Now, I know what you might be thinking. If I can't enjoy the drinks I've known for decades, what's left? Am I supposed to just sip water at every gathering? Absolutely not. Because this next part is about freedom, not restriction. You deserve to enjoy your evenings, your dinners, your quiet moments with something in hand that feels special, without the worry. And believe it or not, the world of safe, flavorful, feel-good alternatives is growing every day. Let's start with something that keeps the tradition alive. Non-alcoholic wine. Imagine sitting down for a Sunday dinner. The candles are lit, your plate is full, and you raise your glass, not to compromise, but to connection. Non-alcoholic wine lets you keep that ritual. The clink of the glass, the rich aroma, the warmth in your chest, all without the alcohol. And get this, it's not just grape juice. Many of these wines go through traditional winemaking processes before the alcohol is gently removed. What's left? Polyphenol. Especially in red varieties, polyphenol like resveratrol helps support circulation and heart health. You can find reds, whites, even sparkling roses. Whether you like a bold Cabernet or a crisp Chardonnay, there's a non-alcoholic option that'll surprise you, in a good way. And here's the beauty, no brain fog, no balance issues, and no medication worries. Just flavor, comfort, and presence. Now, for those who miss beer but want something smarter. Kombucha, low sugar. Maybe you crave something with fizz. Something a little tangy, a little sharp. Enter kombucha. A lightly fermented tea that has a unique zing, and real benefits. It's got probiotics that support gut health. And that's no small thing, because your digestive system plays a big role in your energy, immunity, even your mood. But here's the trick. Look for low sugar, low alcohol brands. Some kombuchas can sneak in more sugar than you'd expect, or contain more alcohol than they should. Aim for under 5 grams of sugar per serving, and an alcohol content below 0.5%. It's refreshing, satisfying, and it mimics the body and bite of beer, without weighing you down or throwing your system out of balance. Perfect for a warm afternoon or a cozy evening on the porch. Now, if you're looking to make something special at home. Sparkling water mocktails. Here's where you can really get creative. Sparkling water mocktails are light, festive, and endlessly customizable. All you need is a chilled can of sparkling water, plain or flavored, and a few simple ingredients, a squeeze of lemon or lime. Fresh berries or a splash of juice. Herbs like mint, rosemary, or basil. Combine those and you've got a drink that feels just as indulgent as a cocktail, without a single drop of alcohol. It looks beautiful in a glass, it keeps you hydrated, and it won't mess with your medications, your sleep, or your balance. And let's be honest, it's nice to have a drink in your hand that feels like a treat. Something to toast with. Something to savor. And this gives you all of that, and more. But what about those quiet nights? When you're winding down, and you just want something to help you relax? Herbal elixirs or relaxation teas. This one is close to the heart. There's something sacred about the ritual of a warm drink before bed. And while whiskey might have once done the trick, your body now needs something gentler. Try a tea made from chamomile, lemon balm, or valerian root. These herbs have been used for centuries to soothe anxiety, calm the nervous system, and support deep, restful sleep. No grogginess in the morning. No fuzzy thinking. Just true rest and peace. And if you want to dress it up a bit, add a cinnamon stick, a slice of orange, or even a few drops of alcohol-free bitters. It becomes a little nighttime ceremony, one that tells your body, it's time to relax. You're safe. You're cared for. So, there you have it. 4 alternatives. Each one safer. Each one full of flavor, tradition, and joy. You're not giving up the experience, you're just choosing to experience it in a way that honors your health and your years. But before we wrap up, let's talk about what all this means. Not just for your drink choices, but for your life. Because this isn't really about alcohol, it's about control, clarity, and care. Let's get to the heart of it. It's not easy, is it? Letting go of something that's been part of your life for decades. That nightcap after dinner. That glass of wine with old friends. That sip of something strong while watching the evening news. These drinks, they're tied to memories. To moments. So, when you hear someone say, you shouldn't have that anymore, it can feel like a piece of your freedom is being taken away. Like a small joy is slipping through your fingers. And that's painful. Because it's not just about the drink. It's about the connection it gave you. The comfort. The familiarity. So yes, it's hard to accept. It's hard to admit that what once made you feel good, now quietly chips away at your energy. That something you used to enjoy without worry, is now a risk you can't afford to ignore. But here's the truth. This isn't about giving something up. This is about stepping into something better. You are not losing joy, you are reclaiming control. You are choosing to live with clarity, to move through your days with steadier feet and a sharper mind. You are trading short-term comfort for long-term vitality. And that is not a loss. That is a powerful, personal win. Because every single time you reach for a better alternative, whether it's a calming tea, a refreshing mocktail, or just a tall glass of sparkling water with lemon, you're telling your body, I still care about you. You're saying, I still want to be present. For my family. For my friends. For myself. So tonight, just take a quiet moment. Look at what's sitting in your fridge, or in that cabinet you keep above the sink. Ask yourself, is this helping me live better? Or is it quietly stealing my balance, my sleep, my sharpness? It doesn't have to be a dramatic change. You don't have to throw it all away. But maybe, just maybe, this is the moment you choose something different. Because here's the hope, it's never too late. Never too late to make a better choice. Never too late to protect your brain, your bones, your heart. Never too late to feel lighter, clearer, more in control. Every small shift adds up. Each smarter drink is a step toward more good days, more meaningful moments, more laughter that lasts. So no, you're not giving up anything important. You're giving yourself the gift of more time, better health, and deeper peace. And really, isn't that what life is all about now? Let's take a moment to pull it all together. You've just learned about 4 types of alcohol that, while once harmless in earlier years, now carry hidden risks for your health, your memory, and your safety. We talked about those high-sugar cocktails, the ones that look festive but send your blood sugar into a tailspin. We touched on red wine in excess. Yes, even the so-called heart-healthy drink can become a problem when moderation slips. Then there's beer, especially the light, cheap kind. Not as innocent as it seems, right? And finally, hard liquor, the small pour with the big impact, especially when mixed with medications or age-related changes. But we didn't stop there. Because this isn't just about what to avoid, it's about what to embrace. We explored non-alcoholic wines, rich in flavor, gentle on the body. Low-sugar kombucha, a bubbly swap that's good for your gut and your peace of mind. Sparkling water mocktails, full of flavor, joy, and elegance without the aftermath. And calming herbal teas, nature's nightcaps, helping you wind down without knocking you out. You see, there are so many ways to keep the ritual, without the regret. And your body, and your mind, will thank you for making the switch. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these drinks caught you off guard? Was there something you've been enjoying for years, that now you see in a different light? Or maybe you've already made a change, cut back, swapped, adjusted, and felt the difference in your energy or sleep. Tell me your story in the comments. Your experience might just help someone else make a better choice too. And if this video helped you think differently about something so familiar, if it made you pause, reflect, or nod along at any point, then go ahead and subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. Because this channel is here for you, for the days when you feel strong, and the days when you need support. For honest insights, gentle reminders, and smart tips that help you live fully, with wisdom, grace, and strength. Thank you for being here. Truly. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to spend this time taking care of your health, your choices, your future. And that matters. It really does. So, until next time. Stay strong. Stay curious. Stay kind to your body. And I'll see you soon, right here, on Elderly Wisdom Guide.